I wasn't always so fluid because I was brought up in a totally different way. Like, it was like, get your shit done, da-da-da-da-da. And, I mean, I obviously, like, rebelled a little bit, but I still, like, always got good grades, and I have the worst OCD about cleaning shit. And then finally I'm like, oh, man, I don't smoke weed, so I need to loosen up some other way. So I just, like, loosened up my lifestyle a little bit. So now I'm, like, all about take the opportunity. Like, why not go to Morocco? You're broke, but when are you going to go? When are all your girlfriends going to go next? Best friend's older sister was a photographer, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. I want to do that too, but I was studying fashion. I was like, why don't I just take pictures of my friends in my clothes? And then I started taking photos. And then I started skating, and then I started shooting skate photos, but that was a short-lived career, because being a girl at that time, 15 years ago, trying to be a skate photographer was like, fuck no. My whole entire family were like the first generation to move to America. Well, I was little, and it was a fantastic way of growing up because you play in the woods and there's no video game and play hide and seek and ride bikes. Like, it was really simple. I lived in like a small town outside of Krakow called Katowice. Then I moved to Arizona, and then in Arizona I hung out with a bunch of dirtbag kids and skateboarded, and I was a total tomboy. I was supposed to be a boy. My name was supposed to be Adam. I was a girl. My parents were praying, and then I'm like, see, Dad? When I took him to the skate park for the first time to show him all the tricks I could do, he's like, how do you just get up after you fall all the time? And I'm like, I'm a tomboy. Kind of got your boy, right? You just come to a country and you're young, you're like a sponge. So you start like learning things, and I ended up like learning how to speak English from watching Aladdin on TV or something. Like cartoons after school. But at first I was like super shy and I was scared and I was very like inverted. This some skater dude in Long Beach gave to me when I was like 19. He's like, you want my sweater? I'm like, yeah, I want your sweater. 2 years ago at South by Southwest, me and 12 of my friends that were all playing in bands together, we got matching tattoos when we were wasted at 5 in the morning with a handmade gun. Put a cigarette down and let the sun go through it long enough, and then it'll start lighting the paper on fire, especially American Spirits, and you can light a cigarette that way. You just keep it on there. I was burning ants with this once in the desert, and then I felt bad. I'm like, why don't I try a cigarette? So it's worked every time since. Some kid traded me this vintage leather jacket 7 years ago for a gray t-shirt. I was like, really? You can get those in American Apparel, but okay, I'll take it. This is my mom's from when she was in college. Or no, maybe even before that. Was pajamas, and it was to here. And I cut it, and it's got it's a lion shirt, and I'm a Leo, so I like that. This thing just makes me feel like I should do psychedelic drugs, so that's why I like this. I'm like, oh, these are cool. Ever since I bought them, I wear them every once in a while, more often than other pants. And girls always make comments on them in the States, guys never do, and then when I was in London, I wore them, and girls would just like give me the fucking stink eye, like, where the fuck did you get those pants? Or like, you fucking American. And all the dudes are like, oh my god, those are the coolest pants I've ever seen. This one is from Morocco too. But apparently it's ghetto because the stone fell out today. Cool markets, but you have to, like, you gotta haggle with these people really bad because they're like, no, this is, I give you a good price. And I was like, fuck no. I love shooting music because it's easy to shoot bands because I can relate to them since I play music too. We can talk about guitars and amps and nobody thinks that I'm some like random chick that doesn't know shit about pedals. The whole thing is you just gotta capture people for who they are naturally. And I'm just now learning that when people are all of a sudden down to shoot my band, I'm like trying to over control it because I'm like the photographer too, but I'm like, wait, you just gotta be you and not care and not pay attention to the camera. And that's when you get those classic awesome photos of the Stones recording or like hanging out. Well, the photography is really loose. It's always like, oh, wait a minute, go over here. Fuck, I already missed the moment, but whatever, just maybe take your top off, it'll look cooler. It's loose, it's all about the moment, and I feel like, I don't know, I'm just like, I don't like to pre-think shit too much. The thing that pisses me off the most, okay, my favorite place to shop is Trader Joe's, and it's all hippy-dippy, but you're like, everything's fucking plastic here. That's gross, and it's been frozen and then shipped and then thawed out, and it's all in plastic. So I was like, seeds, soil, sun, water, not that hard, right? Lettuce grows like a weed once it starts growing, and the shit that you buy at the store wilts unless you eat it, and here it's like it never wilts because it's still growing, so you just chop a little bit off, make a little salad. This is Captain Pickles, and I was eating lunch with my friend in Silver Lake, and here comes this fucking cute dog walking down the street like this, and I was like, oh, look at that puppy! And then I'm like, there's nobody following him, and I'm like, wait, he's by himself. And then all of a sudden he like sits right next to me at lunch, and I'm telling my friend how amazing he is, and I turn around to talk to her, and then I turn back around and my fucking sandwich is in his mouth. I was like, oh, you bastard. The owner of the restaurant was like, dude, this dog's been here for like 5 days. We're gonna take it to the pound unless somebody wants to take him. And I was like, okay, cool. I guess I will. And then he was in the back seat of the car, and I was like, what's your name gonna be? I'm all, Rooster. Scooter? Nah. And then I'm like, Pickles? And when I said that, from the back seat, he put his paw on my shoulder. While I was driving, I was like, you're fucking Captain Pickles. You just picked your own name. That's crazy. My friend Brandon, who was in New York, he gave me the first stick like this, and I was like, this shit's amazing. Where do you get it? And he's like, I got it from the dudes in Modest Mouse. They get it online. I'm like, okay, good story. So it's just a stick. You light it on fire for a little bit, and it goes out real quick. But the thing is, it's like the same thing as like having a fireplace. I live in this is like my own little world.
Yeah.
This little hill that I live on. I can do everything out of my house. I can shoot here. I can make music here. Not that I don't want to leave, because I like to travel a lot, but it's just comfortable. Fortunate that I have cool friends in most cool parts of the world that I want to visit, where I can go there and I'm like, here's my little corner, and I feel comfortable. I can get my work done and just like set up my little like living situation. But I'll have anxiety like crazy if I'm not in my comfort zone, and it's just, I can't be productive. Like my office has to be clean for me to start making a mess. Like your house reflects on you and how you're gonna act. If you can wake up and like open up the windows and the air is blowing in like nice fresh warm summer breeze, and you put on some fucking Zeppelin, light some incense, and that's how you're gonna get ready for work, how are you ever gonna be a bitch or in a bad mood, you know? So I try to do that.